When Women Speak and New Jersey Poetry Events presents When People Speak, Poetry and Conversation with pop-up poetry guests. Our pop-up poetry lineup will be we are here.
Yes,
Welcome.
we are. Welcome, everybody. I'm always cutting my host off. I hope he doesn't mind. Women always have to speak. Welcome to December 29th edition of When People Speak. So, James, what we got going for the people tonight?
Well, tonight we definitely have a good show for the people. And, as always, we like to set the tone and open up with one of us going and performing and just giving you a little taste of what you have in store for this show of When People Speak 7 featuring Keith Newizzy. And so let's see, I think you're up to bat, Amira.
Oh, so you're going to let me go first? You're going to actually let me speak? I'm going to I'm going to give them a little bit of what women do when they're actually poets and they're actually speaking. So I'm going to start the show off with a piece that I've actually not only written, but I also produced an illustration for it, and it'll be a part of a new anthology coming up. I am the author of Breathing Through Concrete, and you can get a copy of that book from Amazon, or you can get an autographed copy from me. But since we're in When People Speak space, I'm going to go ahead and speak. And what I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to ask you to let the art call you. Let the art call you from concrete places. Lift your soul as voices call out, raising, leaving droplets of fire toasted breadcrumbs to pass. So follow. So speak. She speaks of softness with bruises in hearts. He speaks of manhood with scars through most parts. So we ask, if so broken, how can they raise up any morsel whole then? And the new birth aftermath of afterbirth springs forward with hopes and dreams of freedoms that as time goes on, he knows will never ring for him. So he crushes past through abandoned forests, left untamed by moms and dads, perished or tied in links to past that master taught them not. He taught them naught, nor do they know how to clear their hearts or their minds to move on. And even when they think they know, they are weary and far from clearing the roads that is, and they find themselves lost and found, lost and found, lost and found again. So they repeat. So here's this story of black little Bo Peep with lots of little lost sheep wandering the wilderness, except for one. His vision is magic, his power be life. He bleeds scriptures he has never been fed, but his power blooms from what he has read. He be poet and art by his very nature, and scripture too run from his lips, and his power be just like Eve. He forgave her too. He knows the real Eve. He be Adam's soul. He knows women all spring from them. He know all that there is springs from women. He knew he'd be nurtured at her hem. So he learned broken bits as he suckled droplets from her withering tits. Pages of Aleph Lam Meme are dropped, giving light and passages through the night. Who can see? They yell from far places, yo, yo, they had slavery too. So ain't no religion never gonna set you free. But you know it was man who enslaved and got a law free slaves from caves. He say, let there be light. He say, kun fire kun be, and it is. This ain't about man, but when you hear with your soul, whose journey is far deeper than any track, here seeing be strength and purpose be clear and not human tame. He's on the cusp of reality and the realm of sainthood. Wingless angels carry him on to victory. And if one baby makes it through, you will know the truth of Baba Black Sheep. His wool will cut you deep, his knowledge high and steep. He whispers to angels who blew breaths, molding persons from mud, essence firm and deep. He'll stand on lit hilltops, flowing verbiage of how he can't stop the music, how he can't stop the music, how he can't stop the music or the verses of any haiku, which this poem ain't. Awaiting your consciousness, awaiting your conscience to follow and be lit too. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is life-saving. He holds no keys. Listen with your soul, gather it up and lead. Hilltops await you too. Step out of the valley. Be free. Man is an anomaly. Mama be trapped. Papa be strapped. Baby fights through, and poets do what they do. Speak. So let art call you from jungles and concrete. Let your mind and body and soul meet. Your destiny void of others' feet. It awaits you. So live it. Speak, poet, speak. And welcome to When People Speak. Hey, James, come on back up here. Yes.
Wow. What inspired that piece?
Oh, so like I'm so tired of I can't even use the word tired, but I'm a little bit over talking about kings and queens and people in the moment of COVID and Black Lives Matter and marching. We need to reconnect. We need to understand that Papa may have trouble or struggle, and Mama may also be struggling, but there's still hope for that baby. There's still hope for that baby because the souls of every human being, so I believe, were called before the Creator, before they knew life. So therefore, there's always hope, knowing that no matter what the current situation is, the future can be changed.
Mm, mm, mm. I love how you interweave, the different, what do you call it, nursery nursery rhymes and so forth that we grew up with, as kids. I love that. Definitely different from you.
Yeah,
And I really enjoyed that. Yeah.
thank you, James.
It's good to always go outside the box and challenge yourself as a writer. And you definitely did that in that piece. So I appreciate that, co-host.
Thank you, super partner number two. So
And
we got a huge lineup this evening. We have some
indeed.
voices that they're not our regular. So I'd like our audience, our listening audience out there in Facebook Live land, to enjoy what we already know about these fabulous guests. But before we do that, co-host, don't you have something you want to share? Don't you want to speak?
I'll go standard. I'll do something
Let's
standard.
do some
Um,
standard then. That's always good anyway.
I think this is fitting for this show and our feature that we have. We actually talked about it off the scene. So um, I'm going to do this piece called I Got a Date with the Devil.
All right now.
And this is, you can hear this on my spoken word musical album, Pulsar. So definitely, I'll put up the information later in regards to that, and as well as Amira's book, Breathing Through Concrete. I'll
Yes, sir.
throw that up too as well. But here's I Got a Date with the Devil.
Okay, I'm gonna give you your space. Let me step out of here.
I got a date with the devil, and I can't be late. She told me to meet her at the local spot around 8 o'clock, so I must not make her wait. I look in the mirror, make sure I'm nice and neat, put a nice shirt on, find some shoes to put on my feet. Take another glance in the mirror to make sure I'm straight. I got a date with the devil and I can't be late. And she told me not to think twice because she would always be there. And she would never stand me up because she would always be there. And here I am at Hell Boulevard waiting for my date. And there she was, sexy as ever, and not a second too late. We walk into the bar and find a place to sit. She orders me a Long Island iced tea and says, "Here, now take a sip. Take a sip for leaving the woman that loved you the most for another. Take a sip for betraying your fellow brother by dating his baby's mother. Take a sip for lusting after a married man's wife. Take a sip for messing up your own life." And the more I sip, the more she seems right. And as I sip some more, this date felt right. But the night wasn't over. The night has just begun. This wasn't just another date. To her, a soul was to be won. And I am the one, because all I had left was her. And as I sipped on more spirits, all I see is her. Now I'm drunk out of my mind and I can barely stand on my feet. She says, "Follow me." And we make our way to the street. She said, "I can give you something to get by. Let's get in your car. Let's go for a ride." Then the devil leads me to a motel, and it's in this motel that I'm introduced to Mohel. She strips down to a matching bra and panty set, and I can feel my manhood swell. And as she takes off all the rest, I'm one step closer to the bowels of hell. She smiles and says, "I know you want me, and you can have me any way you want me. But in order to have me, you must first pay me." And that I did. And a price was placed on my soul. And I placed my bid. And at the end of the night, I no longer felt right. And when I went home and looked in the mirror, I can barely stand the sight. I sold my soul to the devil. And that is that. I sold my soul to the devil. Please, God, give me my soul back. Thank you.
Every time I hear that, I can't help but remember the on-stage performance with you and Tori live, acting that particular poem out. I think that'll stay in my mind forever. It was phenomenal. And so we know that we all have demons, and that whole poem speaks to the pure essence of what could possibly happen when you let your guard down and you let certain things take over and get yourself caught up in the moment.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that there are a lot of gentlemen out there that can relate to that. Well, not only gentlemen, but I think women as well. So tell us a little bit about the origins of that poem.
Well, it's one of the most transparent poem I've ever written. It's actually it's in the book, my book Beyond the Event Horizon, which is like my poetic diary, my poetic memoir, and also in my spoken word album, Pulsar. And it's at first it wouldn't have made it to the public at all, because the content is very personal. But it was something that I did go through and I struggled with. Of course, I embellished. I took the liberty of embellishing a little bit. I mean, obviously, the person involved was not the devil, but I'm talking about my inner demons, my inner struggles.
Of course.
At that time, during one of the lowest part of my life. So it was me just bringing that out and revealing that side and what I was going through mentally at the time. So that's where that piece came from.
Well, we enjoy it every time, and hopefully we'll have the honor of seeing it once Lady COVID leaves our presence and we can see it in person and have that reenacted once again. But let's move on with our show. We had a huge lineup, and I'm ready to go. I hear we got some of these Jersey poets waiting in the VIP room of When People Speak. I think the next one we have is a person that's close by from Elizabeth, New Jersey. Am I correct?
Indeed. And you're talking about the one and only Don Krypton. And let's bring him up real quick.
How are you? How are you?
Doing well.
It's good to see you again.
What happened now?
It's good to see you again.
Thank you. Like you said, Lady COVID got to go away, but we have some more interactions, but it's all good.
Got to use some of that kryptonite on her.
Absolutely.
So James, tell us a little bit about Don. Give him the proper introduction here on When People Speak.
Indeed, indeed. Don Krypton is, as mentioned, from Elizabeth, New Jersey, native with strong roots in Newark. Don's background is in IT management and achieving a 4.0 GPA at Lincoln Tech and currently work as a senior systems executive. Don has always considered himself a wordsmith, writing short stories and raps in his spare time. But his true plunge into the spoken word poetry scene was inspired by a challenge given to him by Evolu Culture Team. Shout outs to Evolu.
Shout out, Evolution.
Bye.
At the Cry Out Cave. Uh,
Woo-hoo.
since then, he has been active supporting the poetry community and working diligently on his own. His style is very low key, but will surprise you with a few flashes of greatness every so often. Don Krypton fancies himself a jack of all trades, dabbling in singing, acting, content creation, music, video editing, investments, philanthropy, and activism. I can go on and on. His resume is extensive and definitely worthy of a man of himself. So help me bring to this show right now the one, the only Don Krypton.
Hey Don, welcome. I didn't know your resume was that intense, bro. You know, we share something in common. I'm just gonna say this and then I'm gonna get off the stage. I was a computer systems analyst for 16 years, so I know all about that IT business and that. Sometimes, well, at that time they used to call you 2 o'clock in the morning to fix a computer program. I'm so glad I'm out of that now. I'm a teacher, but at any rate, I just wanted to make that connection with you. So when you start talking like real fancy, I know what you're talking about.
All right. Somebody on my side. I like to hear it.
All right, so I'm going to step off the stage. I think my co-host is going to join me, and we're going to allow you to have this whole stage to yourself, ladies and gentlemen out in Facebook Live land. Don Krypton.
All right, everyone. This first one is about your potential energy. Potential energy is the energy possessed by a body by its virtue of its position relative to others, stresses within itself, electric charge, and other factors. Now, I've said once before that my biggest talent is being able to see the potential in others, but my biggest flaw is not being able to draw that potential out. I can see from just a few moments of knowing you who you can be. And like a magnetic field, I can feel your potential energy. But it goes both ways. I can feel when you're a god or goddess in my presence, but also if you're a wolf in sheep's clothing, I can feel your malevolence. But the thing that pains me the most is seeing someone with all the potential in the world never be able to reach that because their life becomes unfurled. Young man, you have been blessed with the gift of gab. You can talk your way in and out of any situation, be able to talk the maddest of men into placation. And all you see for yourself is bagging females and talking ish. A little application and you could be with CEOs and boardrooms and all you want to do is play 2K and run chat rooms. I try to take you under my wing, but with your limited mindset, you can only continue to do your thing. I can try to give you everything from me, but you will have nothing until you realize your own potential energy. I can try, but only till you realize your own potential energy. Young woman, you are so beautiful. You're a star. Your looks alone could take you so far. Make no mention of brains or your hustler mindset. Without knowing the rest, you'd be a perfect palette. But patience isn't your forte. To get success, you gotta go through some foreplay. Sometimes you gotta wait for things to fall into place. Not everything is a race. Your own opportunities you are actively erasing. The waiting game would only be a small fee once you see your face up on a marquee. The little impulse control, you wouldn't be down in the hole doing things that are costing you a piece of your soul. And I wouldn't mind lifting you up to see, but at the end of the day, you must perceive your own potential energy. I realize you can't judge a book by its cover, and that rule doesn't change for brothers, friends, or lovers. Because if you lower your energy to accepting others for free, you are damaging your own potential energy. If you have a goal in mind and understand what you need to be aligned, adding others that are disturbed and getting too intertwined to your own dreams, you are rendered blind. Build up a house and having to tear it down simply because the people that you are building with can't see their own crown. So until you flesh out those dreams and set up your proper team, protect your own potential energy from the schemes of those that don't realize their own potential energy. That'll be the end. That's the end of my first one. Thank you for that stage so much, so much. And another one I was just inspired to do. I don't know if y'all could try to play some music right quick, but if y'all don't know, I am part of Evolu Culture, general manager and technical director. Trying to make sure we are getting our platform, YouTube, off the ground very soon. Going to have a bunch of content coming to you. We'll talk about that very soon. Hope to see you there. But my next one is inspired by the Ism. Some of y'all know the Ism. He is the brand ambassador for Evolu Culture, but also obviously his own a star in his very much own right. He has an album called How to Train Your Dragon. He has an instrumental on there called By the Moon. I'm gonna play it for y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all a little bit about how I felt about it and what it inspired me to do. So I'm gonna play it for you right now. Hopefully it doesn't override too much. All right, so here we go. So By the Moon, y'all know my first love is astronomy. And just so y'all know, Apollo 11, first man was to step foot on the moon. How did we get there? First moon-bound trip was the Pioneer. It barely got 10 miles in the air. 74 seconds and the trip was over. A big ball of fire and they start over. You pick up the pieces and see what happened. Did the computer die or something wasn't strapped in? Once you shift through the rubble and the scrap, did they throw your hands up and call it a wrap? Now what they do, try it again, try it again. Whatever was broke, then fix it. Try it again, try it again. Give it your best, now clip it. Try it again, try it again. Whatever was broke, they fixed it. Try it again, try it again. Give it your best, now clips it. Y'all know Elon Musk, repping SpaceX from dawn till dusk, looking to get men to the stars. You know that next step is to Mars. When everything was going smooth and fine, alarms going off on December 9. Up to that point, everything was in hand, till the rocket came down a little faster than planned. What's he gonna do? Try it again, try it again. Whatever was broke, they fixed it. Try it again, try it again. Whatever was broke, they fixed it. Try it again, try it again. Give it your best, now clips it. Try it again, try it again. Whatever was best, they clips it. Whatever was broke, they fixed it. Try it again, try it again. They give it your best, now clips it. Whatever was broke, they fixed it. Try it again, try it again. Give it your best, now clips it. The moral of the story is, if you want to work on being a star soon, gotta get yourself by the moon. And that's my time, y'all. Thank you very much for listening. I don't know how much of that you heard, but hopefully that sounded good.
We heard it.
I gotta get him to record that. He gave me the blessing to actually play it, but gotta sit down and record that. So please make me tweak a little bit.
We definitely heard it, and we definitely were like bopping with it and all of that, and trying to take in all of the essence of what you were trying to portray there. I enjoyed it. I know James did because it had something. Those are his favorite subjects. So, what inspired that? Like, what were you trying to communicate to us out here, the lay people of the world, with that piece?
Well, the first piece, I mean, I'm a very, as of right now, I'm very literal. Everything I see is from experiencing something I felt, something I've seen, something that, happened to me at some point. So, at some point in time, I felt my potential energy was disturbed. And, coming from a physics and science background, you can see how those things correlate from, you know, things that happen in nature in real life and things that happen to people as well. You see how those things correlate. And the same thing with By the Moon. Um, they didn't stop after one try. They tried it again. They made it to 11. They made it to the moon. Obviously, Elon Musk, we know he's definitely going to make it to the moon at some point. But some things explode, some things fail. But the only way to keep getting better and to keep doing better is to become a star. Keep trying.
I think some of the people out in the audience, Dr. Helena Lewis is out there saying, yeah, that's right up James's alley. Astrology. And as soon as you started speaking, I was like, oh, here's James probably out there freaking out. And then it dawned on me, well, that's probably why he's a guest on our show, because they connect that way. But I'm going to have something for y'all the next show, and I'm going to be a part of that too. I'm just letting you know. So, Don,
let's go.
So, Don, haven't I seen you on other platforms out there in the world of poetry, in the community?
Relatively new. I literally just started getting out there about this year. So that's why my resume isn't as poetry oriented. But recently, this year, I've joined the Newark Poetry Council.
Mm-hmm.
I've also, obviously, I have joined Evolu Culture. Evolu Culture has the website, this jacket right here, to catch these vibes.
I love it.
You can get that from the site, evoluculture.com, 70% off right now to the end of the year. So y'all want to hop on that. But yes, as far as that, I've also did the Unvoiced platform with Lady Amethyst. So
yeah, that was beautiful. I caught both of those, and you two complement each other very well. Almost like me and James, but like I'm just saying. I enjoy watching the show. And I guess I'm going to thank you for joining us here on When People Speak, and the conversation was all good and the poetry was all good. And thank you for stopping by and sharing your work with us. Can we look forward to anything coming up?
I'm going to be personally putting out a lot of stuff, as you can see right there, my my Instagram, my Facebook, the words of Don Krypton, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, everything you can find me under Don Krypton. I'm going to be putting stuff out here and there, but you want to be on the lookout for sure, Evolu Culture. We're going to have an amazing lineup coming up very soon, starting next year. Multiple different platforms. I'm gonna have some. I'm gonna let the announcements drop, but we have a big thing lined up. So stay tuned to evoluculture.com as well as Don Krypton. You can find me everywhere. You'll see me more soon.
Thanks, Don.
Thank you. And James, obviously, you're one of my big homies. I got that Pulsar album on repeat, so I hear it all the time. And thank you so very much for having me. Have a good night, y'all.
Don, before you leave, there's a question from the audience. They want to know if you do freelance IT work for nonprofit.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll hook you up. That's Dr. Helena. She wants to connect with you.
Okay, absolutely. Like I say, anywhere on any platform, you can find me as Don Krypton. So
okay, she's good to know. All right, take care, bro.
Thank you. Enjoy your night, guys.
You as well. Wow, James, that was a phenomenal choice. That was really good. So
yeah.
What's up next?
Yeah, I think we got the one and only Flowetree. Flowetree, excuse me. Flowetree. So, let's bring her up here.
Let's bring her up.
Hi.
There she is.
How are you, young lady? It's good to see you. We have almost everybody out here from the Newark Poetry Council, which I am also a member of. It's good to see you. Ladies and gentlemen, James and I are welcoming Sister Flowetree Lokx.
Yes.
She's artistically known as Flowetree Lokx, and she is a proud native of Newark, New Jersey. She graduated from Art Time and majored in drama, and then she went to Spelman in the house, graduated with a BA in theater and performance. Flo discovered her love for poetry and spoken word at a very young age, and therefore, she became one of the founders and the curators for the North Poetry Council. Give it up for North Poetry Council.
Yeah, yeah.
Founded this summer, 2020. We had an amazing performance downtown Newark on Halsey Street. Beautiful photo shoot and everything. Her admiration for poetry is no secret. However, her other facets of art include theater, dance, directing, writing, and she knows and shows her gratitude and appreciation to be chosen to perform on such platforms. Poetry says, now listen to this. This is her mantra. Always aim to enlighten because you are the light in someone. Ashe,
Yes.
ashe. Welcome,
Ashe.
welcome to When People Speak, Sister
Thank you so
Flowetree.
much.
Welcome, sis.
Thank
Man,
you
that's
so
an
much for
amazing
having
bio
me.
there. That's an amazing bio there. So you ready to go to work, Mama?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we're gonna step off the stage and let you have it.
Alrighty.
All right, then we'll be back.
So, I go by Flowetree. Sister Amara, she basically gave me my whole bio, so there's nothing else to say but to get right into it. I could never make you love me. Damage is already done, but you fail to realize that just because my species share the similar qualities as a woman doesn't mean I am the replica of feminine hurt. But of course, bandages can never heal a broken heart, and quite frankly, neither does time. Things get better with time. No, they don't. In time, your heart will heal. No, it won't. See, the clock ticks, but funny how this wild beast still ain't fixed, so it's understood. You can't feel the heat when the furnace is broken, so you mope in the cold, chill shoot up your veins like you put heroin to the skin. So I put on my cape to be the hero in your wait. It's too late. Chill shot up your veins and erupted the cold heart. Maybe if I connected my lips to yours to symbolize what will be a true love's kiss, maybe that'll melt the frozen crystals surrounding your heart. But wait, this ain't a frozen fairy tale. So why even budge? I can never make you love me. You're so trapped in your own self that you don't know when someone is coming with a heating pad to cover your shivers. You shun them out, let me in. You close your heart, let me in. Too busy protecting, too busy shielding. You grab tighter and harder and harder and tighter, squeezing every bit of LOV you have left. I hold out my hand to be receptive of whatever drop lands. You tell me I've had enough when I've only had a drop to feel the crease in one hand, yet I still squeeze. But is this even enough to hold on to? I could never make you love me. Maybe have you open and free, and maybe then you will see she wants you wholeheartedly. You see, she broke her wall down to receive what you may give her, only to be faced with having to break yours down too. Exhausted, hurt, bruised, exhausted, hurt, bruised. We, cause we sit on the front line, ready to give, ready to receive. But what you don't know is that tackling my own wall drained me. And that's something that you can't see because you can't see beyond what's blocking you. I could never make you love me. Maybe have you open and free, but if the guard on your heart remains, us will never be. I could never. You will never love me. Thank you. Do I have permission to do another one? Actually, well, yeah. Do I have permission to do another one, or is that my time?
Oh yeah. Go ahead, sis. Go ahead.
Okay,
Do your thing.
okay. So I got one more. Just briefly, I was inspired to write this next poem. It's called Juneteenth. I was inspired to write it on Juneteenth this year, June 19, 2020, in the spirit of what was going on in the world, with the massive Black Lives Matter protests across the world. It really set into my spirit that Juneteenth this year was definitely a time for all of us to really celebrate us as a people and our freedom as such. So I wrote this poem on the whim. I was trying to create a caption for on Instagram for Juneteenth because I posted something, but it just it just came to me, and it's a poem. So we be queens, we be kings, we be royalty, stripped from mother's land to help build the lands of their fathers. We be creation, we be art that enlightens the souls trapped behind the cages of hate, pain, mental dis-ease, spiritual bondage, death. I would never disrespect my ancestors by saying I am not my ancestors because that only discredits all of their work, time, energy, penalty, abuse, all emotional, physical, and mental sacrifice, permanent cessation of life that brought forth our very beings here today. So we be strength. We be power, we be bold, we be retaliation, we be evolution because there be no reason to revolve this cycle. We be the noose on their necks, not their knees. We be our ancestors' wildest dreams. We be red for the blood our ancestors shed in the midst of our wars for equality, opportunity, rights, justice, peace, freedom. We be black for our multi shades of melanin that glistens in gold from mother's hottest star, the sun. The color that represents our solidarity as one, a color that cannot be easily erased or bleached. We be green for the land we came from and oh so desire to get back to, for the land we built. But they never give recognition to the foundation on which it stands, talking about go back to where you come from. Um, Karen, you're not from here either. You stole this. Home of the brave, humans that hide behind their labels and badges, land of the free labor given by the enslaved because we refuse to be slaves to any thief. We stand powerful and ready. And they'll never have control of that. Ever. Thank you.
Wow.
Mm,
That spoke to many people. I know it definitely spoke to me. We're ready. Don't give power to anybody. Karen, you don't belong here, or you're not from here either. They need to be reminded that each and every one of us, we came here from other places, or at least our
Mm,
ancestors did, and they seem to forget that fact quite frequently.
yes.
James, so, what do you have to ask Miss Flowetree, Mr. Ellerby?
yeah, like, well, first of all, I'm digging the shirt. That's number
Thank
one.
you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dream like Martin, lead like Harriet, fight like Malcolm, think like Garvey, write like Maya, build like is
Mad
that
Madam.
Madam CJ Walker. I mean, that shirt is phenomenal. Um, but
Thank you
like
so much.
when you started writing poetry?
Fun fact. I've been writing for like a lot of years. Let's see. I was in middle school, so let's say about 10 years.
Mhm.
Mm,
About
mm,
10 years I've been writing poetry,
Would you
but I
say
haven't
that
been like active in the scene until 18
mhm.
adult
mhm,
years. You know,
Would you say
mm.
that
I'm in the
you
process now, just like Brother Don. I'm in the process now of being out there and just letting my art speak. You know.
yeah, well, would you say that you always knew that you would be a poet or a writer or a storyteller, a griot
Um, you talking about when I started writing?
from early, like a child in childhood? Like I knew from like way back when. I
Um,
yeah, I knew that.
I would say no. I
Mhm.
didn't think so. Like I think as a kid, we all have dreams of, oh, I want to be a teacher, I want to be a
Of
doctor,
course, of
things of that
course.
nature, hairstylist. I wanted to be a hairstylist at one point in life too, but um, my like love and desire for writing and poetry in itself really came, I would say, when I was in high school. Because before then, I just was like, oh, I want to be an actress. I want to be an actress, and I still am. I still do perform in that art. But in terms of poetry and writing and spoken word, I discovered that when I was in high school, and further embodied it in college when I was in college. So
That's really cool. So I personally would like to invite you to bring your talent and your words and your poetry to When Women Speak, which is a venue for all women poets. Um,
cool.
it's sort of like a similar space. It's the sister program to When People Speak, except for the only difference is we don't allow men to speak on our platform. It's only women.
Okay.
So I'll shoot that information to you. Look at James. He's like, he's tried to sneak in several times. I've caught him, but at any rate, yes, when Women Speak is the sister program to When People Speak. I'll get that information to you. The
Okay.
next show is January 19th. So you're welcome to perform there at any time.
Okay. I
And
really do appreciate it. Thank you for the
you're
invite.
welcome. And
Thank
thank you.
you.
Yeah, we
Oh, and
appreciate
my
you.
Instagram is Flowetree, just with the zero, so FL0 WETREE. Yep, there we go, right there on the screen.
We're
my
ready.
Instagram and my Twitter. Flowetree FL0 WETREE. All updates for the new year will all be posted on there because I have a lot of things in store as well. So just want everybody to be on the lookout for it.
And thank you for reminding us about your Twitter and your social media information. We do like to stay on top of things. We were just so engrossed in this conversation that we were a little late posting it. But thank you, and thank you
Oh,
for
it's,
joining
it's
us
all
on
it's
When
all
People
good. It's
Speak.
all love. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you guys so much.
All right. All right. That was Flowetree.